me some tones. Yeah, this is my custom tube screamer, which I built many moons ago. I think in 2008 or 2009. No, probably 2008. I'm thinking 2008 because I actually had this on my pedal board when I toured in 2009. So yeah, 2008-ish, maybe 7. Who knows? Anyways, I bought this as a kit from a website called Musikding.de. I shall leave the link in the description box below so you can go and check it out. They sell another version of this. I actually have a toggle switch on mine which does symmetrical or asymmetrical clipping, and they do sound different. Asymmetrical clipping is a little bit more high gain than the symmetrical clipping. Anywho's, you might have seen about a month back or something, or maybe a little bit more, I did a video on the 1981 original Ibanez TS808 Tube Screamer, and it completely scrambled my mind. It completely scrambled my brain as to tone, because it sounded so lush and it was so good, and it was just, wow, I want this, but it's 1,500 bucks. But I had the privilege of having it for a few days, and it was lovely to play. Just such a beautiful tone, and it was the feel of the pedal as well. It's what it did to the actual EQ curve of the guitar. It's how it made it much more dynamic to play. You know, when I was actually playing this through my Blue Guitar Amp 1 with a speaker cab in my living room there, I could actually feel the speaker moving, and it's something which I just don't feel with a lot of amplifiers and pedals these days. There's a very flat response. This was just, I mean, it was so accentuated. Literally, you know, if I palm mute something, it would whoop. It's like, wow, what's going on? Anywho's, I wanted to basically get that tone back, but you know, I couldn't justify the spend. Maybe one day I will. Or maybe one day I'll have 1,500 bucks to kind of spend on an original Tube Screamer. By the time I do that, there'll probably be like 3 grand or something. So I went on a bit of a quest to find out what actually made that original Tube Screamer sound like it did. Checked into the components. I know a little bit about electronics, so well, I built this, and you know, my dad used to be into electronics. He used to work in electronics for many years, so I kind of picked up some tips from him. And basically I kind of went on a quest to find out which components might be making a difference in my Tube Screamer as opposed to that original one, which just was like, woo, holy grail. And I discovered that they used a very particular diode in there, and the op amp in there, the chip, the JRC 4558 chip. I actually had one in here, JRC 4558, which was from Japan. A friend of mine had brought it over from Japan many years ago. That was in there, so that should have sounded the same, right? Well, the first thing I did was change the diodes, which actually did make a difference. I changed them to the MA150 diodes, which are in the original Tube Screamer. Instant change in kind of how it worked and stuff. Still wasn't exactly the same. So I found some op amps on eBay, of all places. I found some more chips. So I bought 2, and I got them, and I thought, well, let me just try them in there, see if they change the sound. And this was where I discovered something really fascinating. So now I had 3 chips, 3 JRC 4558 chips. Each one of them sounded slightly different. The first one I put in sounded absolutely spot on. It was the tone that I was chasing after. It was that feel, that dynamic range, it just had it. And then I tried the second one, which I'd purchased, and that sounded pretty good. That sounded very close to, you know, the first one that I'd purchased, but it didn't sound as good. So that actually scrambled my mind as well. And both of them sounded different from the original one. The original one didn't sound as good at all, in my opinion. It didn't have the same response, didn't have the same low end, didn't have the same EQ curve. Each chip actually sounds a little bit different. Where it's manufactured, who manufactures it, does make a difference, and I've tested this. I was sitting there with the 3 chips, actually changing them out with the back of the pedal off. I was changing them out and seeing which one sounded good, and I came to the conclusion that one of them just sounded better and it had that feel and the tone. So I kept that one in here. Yeah! So then I needed to just change the EQ a little bit. Basically just change the tone capacitor in there. Thank you so much to my buddy Stefan at Red Stuff Amplification, because he helped me with which component I needed to change in there, and it was basically just one capacitor, and I dropped the value from, I think it was 220 microfarads to 100 microfarads or something like that. Anyways, I changed the capacitor in there. Then I plugged it in, and then I was all smiles. It was like, that's it! So I managed to create $1,500 worth of tone for, well, basically the kit originally cost me about 30 euros, which is about $30, $35. And then the other components, they cost me like, you know, another $5 or something. So maybe in about $40, $45. I got that tone now, and I love it. I am using this all the time now. This literally just goes into my Blue Guitar Amp 1, or I have another pedal, my Just Be Cool pedal, which is very, very awesome and cool, which I am loving the tone of. The combination just gives me that creamy tone and the dynamics that I was after from the original Ibanez TS808. So there you go, guys. That's how I did it. That's how I basically managed to create $1,500 worth of tone, in my opinion anyways. In my pedal, which probably costs like less than $50. Those components just made a difference, and you know what, I love this thing. I am completely in love with this thing again. You know, I used to use it all the time for recording, playing, etc., and just have a love affair with it again. So I'm going to be using it in my videos, and I have been using it in my videos. Alright, I know you want to see the isolated tracks, which I am going to show you in a second. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel, and also click the bell notification so you know when new videos come out. Please do also give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and on your social media, etc, etc. It helps out so much. And if you'd like to support the channel, then you can do so via Patreon or buying a t-shirt, Masala Guitar t-shirt. I have another t-shirt coming out later this week. Yeah, Rhythm Revolution t-shirt. You're gonna love it. Yeah, so head over to my Redbubble store and check all of that stuff out, and there's many other links down there which you can check out as well. Have a fantastic day, have a fantabuloso day. I am gonna play this some more because I love it. This is creamy, this is lovely, this is boosty, this is kind of overdrivey, just wonderfulness. Yeah. So there you go, guys. That's my custom Tube Screamer. Yeah! Here are the isolated tracks. Enjoy. See you later. Bye!